done. You found your first artifact. Now leave the asteroid.
Where is the correct exit? Well, I guess let's just take an exit. I guess this is the correct exit, after all.
Your father believed that many of these artifacts are still hidden within asteroids. He told me that they are scattered all over the universe. No one else will probably be able to make proper use of these artifacts. A fact that should work out to your advantage. You will see a new button on the right side of your cockpit. Every time you can transform your ship, this button will appear. Would you care for a surprise? Then click the button.
Let's click the button.
You'll receive upgrade points for collecting artifacts. With these points, you will be able to enhance your ship in the hull, wings, and propulsion areas. This will change the attributes of the Darkstar 1. Initially, you should probably concentrate on the wings in order to receive an additional weapon slot. I will send you some notes about the Darkstar 1, which your father left behind. You can read that information at your own leisure.
And I think he's correct. We should double our firepower. That's a very easy upgrade. And you can even see it is getting slightly bigger, our little ship here. Well, I say little. This thing isn't actually that small. I'm not entirely sure how big it is, but what would I guess? I would guess that it's at least 40 meters long, even in this state. And if we just take a look at the engine, you can see that it's even growing outside of the rear with some additional thrusters, I would be guessing. But let's for the moment go into wings. We also get a new weapon class. We also have the notes here about... Oh, well, let's listen.
You can access the upgrade dialogue at any time via your logbook. One last important matter I should mention is the plasma thrower. The Darkstar 1 is the only ship to feature this additional weapon. You'll be able to increase the plasma thrower's effectiveness with your artifact upgrade. Take a look at the plasma section in your logbook. You can activate the plasma thrower with the secondary attack key.
Secondary attack key in this case is right mouse button.
Oh, before I forget, Robert wanted me to tell you that you should meet him in the Pencos system. He said that he has something important for you. Right. I've shown you everything that I know. Maybe we'll meet again, and remember, only you and I know the secret of Darkstar 1. Nobody else does. I wish you all the best and good luck, Kayron.
Alright. Let's take a look at the plasma thrower first. So we can upgrade this thing a total of 30 times. And the first upgrade we can get is Weapon Boost. Instantly fills the capacitor with energy plasma, thus increasing the recharge rate of weapon energy. Advanced versions additionally increase the amount of weapon damage dealt. Easily done. And we can then also go into Shield Boost. A plasma shield is created around the Darkstar 1, which increases the shield recharge rate. Higher levels also reduce the amount of damage sustained. We can go into Overload, fires a plasma beam towards the target's cockpit. The shield of the targeted ship fails, will not affect cruisers. The weapon has a chance to affect nearby enemy targets. We need to get to Weapon Boost level 3 to that. We can, in theory, with our next upgrade, immediately go into Shield Boost. Then we have EMP here, requires Shield Boost level 3. Fires a plasma beam that disables the target's weapon systems by means of an EMP wave, will not affect cruisers. Advanced versions will additionally affect engines, has a chance to affect nearby targets. So basically we can turn off an enemy's shields and enemy's weapons while boosting our own shields and weapons. And then we have Time Shock, requires Weapon Boost level 5 for Overload level 3. The Darkstar 1 creates a temporal shock wave, trapping all nearby ships, will not affect cruisers in 0 time. The higher the level, the higher the radius of the shock wave. So never mind engine boosts, engine slows from the EMP here. We can just, turn off their ability to move entirely. And finally, we have Plasma Shield, requires EMP or Time Shock level 3. Creates an impenetrable plasma shield around the Darkstar 1, will cause damage when ramming other ships. That's also nice to know. And there goes all of our ability to get damaged, at least while the plasma, he calls it thrower. It's called plasma cannon in the description here. But really, this is more like a, how would I even call this? It's sort of like a plasma booster. Maybe I should just call it like that, out of protest, because you are not effectively doing any damage with it directly. You can get weapon boosts and you can turn off enemy shields, and here you can ram enemies, so there definitely is opportunities to do bonus damage, let alone having slower enemies and enemies that can't fight back, all that sort of stuff. But it's really more like an additional energy generation slash debuff machine that you can get here, and in the final levels also you can gain invulnerability, at least for a while. Yeah, it's quite nice. And we will need to make use of this if we want to survive on this difficulty, I think. At least it becomes a whole lot easier if we do. Then, of course, I want to mention that as well. He sent us some messages here. Let's just read them in order. And this is the political background information. 3 great interracial alliances exist in the galaxy. The Galactic Union, GU, is the largest alliance. Most of the secure solar systems are members of this alliance. Their deciding body is the Galactic Council. The alliance's objective is a permanently peaceful coexistence of the various races, free trade, and the joint pursuit of criminals. Therefore, all members of the GU share a database for criminal records. Which means, as far as I know, if we are hunted, or rather if we become infamous in one GU system, we will become infamous in all of them. The rebel systems are the opponents of the GU. They are opposed to trade alliances, and they despise the power of the large mining empires. Many rebel systems offer refuge to pirates, some even hire them for acts of sabotage. However, an open war between the rebels and the GU does not exist. On the contrary, trading with rebel systems is commonplace. Only the frequent pirate attacks pose a nuisance. And finally, we have the Federation of the Neutral Star Systems. They refuse to become involved in any of these issues. They do not sympathize with the GU, nor do they oppose the rebels. I kinda read these texts a bit differently. It kind of flows like that off my tongue sometimes. Then we have trading, but I think I already explained that to the largest part. The import and export business of a system is handled exclusively on its trade station. Goods are produced in abundance within a system. Goods that are produced in abundance within a system are classified as export goods. All other goods are classified as import goods. Export goods are always available in larger quantities and for lower prices. The indicator of the merchant menu will assist you. If less than 3 green bars are displayed, you should not purchase these goods. Then we have the forms of government. Each planet within a solar system may have a different form of government. However, every star system has a representative government for interstellar relationships. These so-called system governments were formed to enable interaction between all systems. They establish rules, ethics, and laws for the interstellar relationships, such as trading, etc. The influence of the represented government on planetary governments varies. For example, in a system consisting of primarily democratic governments, an elected president will lead the system government. However, anarchic systems will find it difficult even to establish local governments. Therefore, they are represented by relatively unreliable system governments. The primary effect that system governments will have on traders concerns the availability of goods and the safety from pirate attacks. Stable governments, such as democratic governments or governments under the control of a trade empire, boast a higher presence of police than anarchy or federation governments. The latter make up for the lack of security by allowing the trade of all goods. And of course, there's always smuggling. Empires and rebels. Conflicts between rebel systems and the large mining companies have always existed. They result from the fact that pirates easily find refuge in rebel systems. At the same time, the risk of pirate attacks is highest in rebel systems. Accusations are being made continuously, claiming that rebels are cooperating with pirates or even that they are hiring pirates in order to sabotage empires. Whenever empires lack solid proof of their accusations or they feel that the official sources are not acting forceful enough, they resort to hiring bounty hunters. So there's basically... The rebels are kind of not really at war, but in conflict with everybody, both with the Galactic Union and with the mining empires, but apparently they are not hostile, at least usually, to the Federation. Because the Federation is basically the space Swiss. They are just neutrals. That said, even neutrals might come under attack by pirates. They probably won't be caring about that at all. Then we have unlocking new systems. Field devices enable a ship to enter hyperspace. However, ships below the size of a cruiser are unable to exit hyperspace independently. Therefore, smaller ships have to use hyperspace jump gates, which enable ships to return to normal space from hyperspace. In order to enter a solar system through hyperspace, the pilot requires the coordinates and a key to the jump gate. Usually, you will receive this data when you enter a neighboring star system, or a neighboring system. However, you may also receive this information during missions or as a reward. In every cluster, as far as I know, there is a side quest that you can do, and it will give you the key for a system that you are unable to access otherwise. Finally, artifacts for the Darkstar 1. The Darkstar 1 is an extraordinary ship. Simon Jarvis constructed it with the utmost secrecy from artifacts of an ancient people. These artifacts are of organic origin, and they are capable of merging with various parts of the ship in order to improve their attributes considerably. Many of these artifacts can still be found all over the universe. In order to facilitate the search for these artifacts, the Darkstar 1 features a special scanner. As soon as you enter a new cluster, all artifacts which are located in this cluster will be marked on the navigation chart. These artifacts are usually hidden inside asteroids. The Darkstar 1 has to fly into the inner areas of the asteroid and approach the location of the artifact. The artifact will be absorbed as soon as the Darkstar 1 is sufficiently close. Liberating occupied systems will also yield an artifact as reward, and at least with the mod, I think some quests offer artifacts as well. That's basically all of it. This article, it basically has the same headline, but it's actually different text. Didn't notice that. Let's read that as well. It's also called Artifacts for the Darkstar 1. Aram's behavior was odd. He gave me information about the Darkstar 1, and he claimed that he had been the only one to have received that information from my father. He was even paranoid about being listened to while he was in the Pencast system, and therefore he intercepted me in the Yari system. At least I have learned how to improve the Darkstar 1 by using the artifacts of an ancient people. They are scattered around the galaxy. The Darkstar 1 was a secret project of my father. That much I know now. Strange, it seems as if Aaron saw a connection between my father's death and the Darkstar project. Yes, we will learn about those things shortly, but for now, we have to return. And we can return directly, but why don't we actually go and make a bit of money? Because we can actually buy some stuff. We can go and basically buy everything that is listed here, or at least things that are here in abundance. And then we can go to the next system and sell stuff. So what should we buy? Well, I'm going to basically buy the most expensive stuff and just sell it at the other station. As far as I know, we have no way of seeing how much supply they have, unless we were there before and we took note of everything.
Here's the trade station. How can I be of assistance?
I would like to land.
Landing permission was granted.